All right, let's talk about something that a lot of people see as just a technical chore, but is actually a huge part of good communication. I'm talking about alternative text. We're going to go way beyond just checking a box for compliance and figure out how to write alt text that actually, helps people. And this quote, it absolutely nails why we're here. Alt text isn't just about describing what's in a picture. It's about giving someone the building blocks they need to build that picture in their own mind. It's about making sure everyone gets the same information. So, here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with the why, the human side of things. Then we'll get into a really simple mindset that changes everything. From there, we'll figure out how to decode any image, dodge some super common mistakes, and finally, wrap it all up so you can write with purpose every single time. Okay, first things first. Before we get into any of the how-tos, we really need to get why this matters so much. And trust me, it's not about the code, it's about people. Here's the deal. When an image doesn't have good alt text, it creates this gap. For someone using a screen reader, maybe because they have a visual impairment, it's not just a blank space on a page. It's missing information. It's lost context. It's a barrier. Good alt text, it closes that gap. It makes sure everyone is on a level playing field. Now, for what I think is the most important part, there is one simple idea that is going to completely change how you write alt text from now on. Seriously, if you remember one thing today, make it this. This is it, the golden rule, and it comes from a great accessibility guide from Penn State. Just imagine you're on the phone with a friend. You see an image on your screen that they need to know about. What do you say? You're not going to say picture of or image of, right? No way. You just describe the important stuff. That is your alt text. Okay, so with that phone call rule in our back pocket, we can start to break down any image to figure out what it needs. This is basically a simplified version of the decision tree from the official Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. This is always your first question. Is this image actually important for understanding the content, or is it kind of just there to look pretty? The answer to this one question changes everything. So, if the image is purely for decoration, like a swirly background pattern or an icon that's already explained by the text next to it, it should have what's called an empty alt attribute. In the code, it just looks like alt equals empty. This basically tells screen readers, hey, nothing to see here, just skip on by. It cuts down on noise. But if the image is informative, if it adds something new, then yeah, it needs a description. Now, what if the image does something? Like you click a company logo to go to the homepage, or you click a little magnifying glass to search. That image is functional. And in that case, the alt text shouldn't describe what the image looks like, it should describe what it does. So you'd write go to homepage or just search, not company logo. It's about the action. Okay, but what about the really tricky ones? The big, beefy charts and graphs that are packed with data. A short little description just isn't going to cut it here. For these, you need a two-part approach. Part one is the alt text itself, and you should think of this as the headline news for the chart. It gives the user the big picture, the main takeaway. So for this one, you immediately know what the chart is about and what the most important numbers are, the biggest gain and the biggest loss. It's the at-a-glance summary. Then comes part two. Right there on the page, you provide all the data in an accessible format, usually just a simple table. This is huge because it lets the user dig into the details with their screen reader at their own pace, just like a sighted user could scan the chart to find what they're looking for. All right, now that we know what to do, let's talk about what not to do. Honestly, knowing the common pitfalls is half the battle, and the good news is these are all super easy to fix once you know about them. Let's kick things off with mistake number one, and I'm telling you, pretty much everyone makes this mistake when they first start out. You know what I'm talking about, starting your alt text with image of or a picture of. It just adds verbal clutter. Screen readers are smart. They already tell the person that it's an image. Think about what the user actually hears. The screen reader says image. Then it reads your alt text, image of Alliant logo. So what they hear is image of Alliant logo. See? It's repetitive. Just get right to the point. Alliant logo. So much better. Okay, our second big mistake often comes from a really good place. You're trying to be helpful, trying to be descriptive, but you end up saying way too much. Just remember the phone call rule. You want to be clear and concise. For most images, you really should be aiming for around 120 characters tops. Think postcard, not novel. And this example just says it all, right? Unless the whole point of the article is about what people wear in autumn, we probably don't need the color of her coat or the specifics of the bench legs. Woman sitting on a park bench perfectly captures the vibe of the image without drowning the user in details that don't matter. And here are a few more rapid-fire mistakes to avoid. First, never forget the alt attribute altogether. If you do, the screen reader might just read out a long, confusing file name, like img_8754.jpg. Yikes. Second, no marketing speak. Describe what's there, don't try to sell it. Third, put the important stuff first. And last, never, ever use that empty alt attribute on an image that's actually important. When in doubt, just describe it.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've gone through a lot, so what's the bottom line? What are the key things you should do every single time you're about to add an image to anything?
Here it is, your go-to checklist. It's really this simple. First, always apply the phone call rule. Second, figure out what kind of image you're dealing with. Is it just for looks or is it doing some real work? Third, be accurate but keep it brief. And finally, just chop out those extra words in the sales pitch. That's it. Look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a practical skill you can use right now. So think about it. Your own website, that blog post you just published, even a PowerPoint presentation you're working on. What's one image you can go back to and improve today? One small change you can make to help create a digital world that works just a little bit better for everyone.